Hello everyone, welcome back to the series about transforming shadow box template. In the previous video, I have shown you how to turn a template with round or nearly round window into circle with the Intersect tool. What if the design has other window and the Intersect tool can't get a full circle? Don't worry. In this video, I will show you another method to solve this problem. It's a little bit more complicated, but it'll be useful for most design. Now, let's open your software and jump to the part of Design Space, Silhouette Studio, or CanvasWorkspace to follow the process. First, I'll talk about the idea of this method. When we have a template with round window and use the Intersect tool to cut it into circle, it's like making gingerbread cookies. The layer is the dough, and we create a circle that acts like a cutter frame. Of course, the cutter must be equal to or smaller than the dough, otherwise we can't get a full shape of the cutter frame. It's similar to the case of this template. If we create a circle frame equal to the size of the layer, it can't cover all details. But if we make the circle larger, it can't get a full intersecting circle as well. So we have two options. The first one is to extend the border of the layers, like make the dough bigger. Then, use the big circle to get the intersection between them. I have made videos about extending shadow box border and turning it into circle with the Intersect tool, so you can watch them and combine the process. The second method is like drawing. We will erase the square border and draw a new one. It can be circle, hexagon, or any shape that you want. Now I will show you how to do it with the case of circle. In Cricut, you have to upload the template and ungroup it. I always suggest renaming the layers by numbers to keep track of the editing process easier. This step is not compulsory. You can skip it if you're confident with memory. Let's go to the main process. First, go to Shapes and create a circle. Then make it bigger to the size that you want. Make sure it can cover all details of the design inside. You can change the operation of this circle to pen to see through and check it easier. After that, you may change its operation to basic cut again. Because this template has 13 layers, I need 13 circles like this. You can press Ctrl-D 12 times to make 12 more copies. Sometimes, I forget how many times I pressed, so I will just make more copies. After that, click Select All. Go to Align and choose Center. Then, in the Layers panel, move the circles so that they are interleaved with the template's layers. The order will be Layer 1, Circle, Layer 2, Circle, Layer 3, Circle, and so on. Next, change the color of each circle to color of the layer before it. You can select the layer and click here to see what color it is. Then select the circle and apply that color for it. If your eyes are good enough, you can just look at the thumbnail and choose the color. It makes the process faster for some templates with fewer layers, and their colors are very different. But in this case, I just check the color of each layer to apply for the circle below them. After I recolor all of them, I will begin the transformation from the last layer. Layer 13 is just a square without any details, so I simply delete it and rename the circle below to Layer 13. Continue with layer 12, it has details, so you have to select it. Go to Contour and click the big square border to turn off it. Then close the window. Next, hold down Shift key and click to select the window below. You can see both the layer and the circle are selected. Now go to Combine, choose Subtract, and layer 12 has been turned into circle. Sometimes the layer has number in the corner, and if you see it cut the circle, you can undo and make the circle bigger. Or when you contour, you may turn off the number as well. When you get a perfect layer in circle, go to Combine again and choose Merge Layers. After that, rename it by number to keep track of the process easier. Scroll down to the bottom and repeat what you did with layer 12 to layer 11. Select layer 11, go to Contour, and click to the square border to hide it. Close the window. Hold down the Shift key and click to select the layer and the circle below it at the same time. Then click Combine and select Subtract. Finally, merge layers and rename it by the layer's number. Do the same thing for other layers. Always start from the last to the first layer so that when you finish, the layers will be in the right order. You don't need to rearrange them later. Let's turn to Silhouette Studio. Once again, you should upgrade it to at least Designer Edition to use the SVG file for editing. First, open your Shadowbox SVG in Silhouette Studio. Next, go to the Drawing tools and click Draw an Ellipse. Hold down Shift key and drag mouse to draw a random circle. Then, you can move these 4 corners to adjust its size. Just ensure that it can cover all details of the template inside it. Because this template has 13 layers, I'll need 13 circles like this. You can press Ctrl-C to copy and press Ctrl-V 12 times to make 12 more copies. After that, drag mouse to select everything and click Center icon on the top toolbar to centered align them. I will move them to this space. Now hold down Shift key and click to select both Layer 1 and a circle at the same time. Click Center to Page icon on the top toolbar to move them to center of the page. Next, right-click and choose Release Compound Path. It will divide Layer 1 to separate details. Click to the empty space to deselect them. Now, we need to delete the square frame, so I will click to the border to select it and press Delete. After that, select the circle, use the eyedropper tool, and click to a detail of Layer 1 to get its color. Finally, drag mouse to select the circle and everything inside it. Right-click and choose Make Compound Path. Layer 1 has been turned into circle. Let's move it to this side and repeat the process with other layer. Hold down Shift key and click to select Layer 2 and a circle at the same time. Click Center to Page. Then right-click and choose Release Compound Path. Next, deselect them. Select the square border and press Delete to remove it. You can see this layer has the number in the right bottom corner. If the number is partially or completely outside the circle, but you want to include it in the layer, you can move it into the circle. Carefully choose a place that won't show the number when you assemble. Or, you can go back to the very first step to make the circle bigger. In case you don't need this number, just simply delete it. Then select the circle and use the eyedropper tool to get the color of Layer 2. Finally, drag mouse to select the circle and every details inside it. Right-click and choose Make Compound Path. Next, move it to this side and repeat the process. I will do it slowly for you to follow. When you finish, select all layers and click Center to make sure everything is aligned well. For CanvasWorkspace, I use the PC version on Windows. The first step is to import the Shadowbox SVG template from your computer. Next, in the Shapes panel, scroll down to find and click to create a circle. Let's make it bigger so that it can include all details of the template inside. This Shadowbox design has 13 layers, so I need 13 circles like this. Press Ctrl-C to copy and press Ctrl-V 12 times to make 12 more copies. Then drag mouse to select everything. Go to the Edit panel on the right-hand side. In the Align Objects section, click Center and Middle to centered align them. After, go to the Layers panel and move the circles so that they are interleaved with the layers. The order will be Layer 1, a circle, Layer 2, a circle, Layer 3, a circle, and going on. Then select all objects again and move them out of the mat. You can reduce the zoom a little bit to have more space to work. We'll go to the main transformation. First, hold down Shift key and click to select Layer 1 and the circle behind it. Second, move them to the mat area. Next, click to somewhere else to deselect them. Then click to select Layer 1 only. Let's click to the layer one more time and wait for it to show the anchor points. We have to delete the 4 points here to remove the square border. Now, you can see the point on the top left corner has a distinct color. That means it is selected. So you can click Delete Point here to remove it. Then select other points and delete them. When you delete the third point, the remaining point will also be deleted. After that, click somewhere else to hide the editing points. Now, we have to recolor the circle to the color of layer 1. However, I can't find the tool that helps us transfer the color. So I will go to the Fill Color and copy the hex code of layer 1. Simply drag the mouse to select the code and press Ctrl-C to copy. Then close the window and select the circle. Let's go to its Fill Color and choose a random color. After that, delete the current hex code and press Ctrl-V to paste the copied one. Click OK to exit the window. Finally, drag mouse to select the circle and everything inside it. Go to the Edit panel and scroll down to the Process Overlap Shapes. Click to the last subtract icon and you have layer 1 in circle. Go back to the Layers panel and rename it by number to keep track of the process easier. Then, move it to the other side and repeat the process with other layers. Hold down Shift key and click to select layer 2 and the circle behind at the same time. Move them to the mat area and deselect them. Then, select layer 2 only and click to it one more time to show the editing points. Now, you have to delete 4 points in the corners. This layer has the number in the bottom right corner. If it is partially or completely outside the circle and you want to keep it to help you assemble the template later, you can drag mouse to select and move it into the circle. Let's zoom in a bit to see the details easier. Carefully select the number only and move it to the place that won't show off when you assemble. Then click one more time to hide the editing points. Next, go to the Fill Color to copy color hex code of this layer. After that, select the circle and paste that code to its fill color. Finally, select both layer 2 and the circle. Go to the Edit panel and click Subtract in the Process Overlap Shapes section. Layer 2 has been turned into circle now. Let's go back to the Layers panel and rename it. Then move it out and repeat the process for other layers. I will do it slowly for you to follow. The steps are more complicated than in other softwares because CanvasWorkspace doesn't have some tools like Intersect or eyedropper. So pay attention to what I do. The more you do it, the faster you get it done. Just remember the main step. Delete the corner points to remove the square border. Move the number into to circle area. Copy hex code of the layer and paste it to the circle's fill color. Select both of them and click Subtract in the Edit panel. It's not very difficult, right? Just do it a few times and you'll get used to it. I hope this video helps you turn your shadow box into circle easier. In the next video, I will show you how to do it when the template is completely square without any window. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell notification to not miss it. If you want to modify something else in your shadow box template, just leave a comment and I will get you through it. Goodbye and see you soon.